We are 3 weeks into the college football season, and I think it's safe to say that the Georgia Bulldogs have two legitimate Heisman Trophy candidates on the roster right now. I don't even have to say their names. You know who they are. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down why, of course, Brock Bowers and Stetson Bennett should be in New York towards the end of the season, and why they both have legitimate reasons why they could be the Heisman Trophy winner in the 2022 season. Now, going into the season, of course, all eyes are on Bryce Young, who won the Heisman Trophy last year, and Stroud, the quarterback at Ohio State. Now, those guys are putting up great numbers so far, but so is Stetson Bennett. And I think Brock Bowers might be the best overall college football player in the country. Now, of course, Stetson led Georgia to a national championship, and I think for people on the outside looking in, people who don't follow Georgia closely, maybe outside of the SEC going into the season, said, you know what, Stetson Bennett is a good player, but, last year Georgia's defense led the way, and he didn't look all that great at times. But for people like me who covered the team and Georgia fans watching this video, you saw how good Stetson Bennett was even last year. Of course, this year he's off to a tremendous start. So I think the rest of college football around the country are finally starting to realize, hey, this guy is really good. He's better than we think. He plays better than his size. His arm is better than we all thought it was. And he's taking care of the football. He's distributing the ball well, and he's putting up great numbers for a guy who really hasn't even played in the fourth quarter. If they wanted to pad his stats, they could do that. They're doing it with Bryce Young. They're doing it with C.J. Stroud. The Heisman Trophy is important to programs like that. They want to keep that trophy. Where at Georgia, it's win and win championships and get those guys experience. Yeah, they could push Stetson Bennett, and I think they're going to start pushing that from the PR department. Hey, this guy's playing like a Heisman Trophy candidate, a guy who might win it if he leads Georgia to an undefeated season again. Let's keep pushing this narrative across the country. But no, they want Carson Beck in there to get experience, to maybe take over next year. They want Brock Vandagriff to get any type of reps possible. Former five-star who could have transferred before this season. They want guys to play in these blowout games, and they're blowing out everyone. So why leave guys like Stetson Bennett in when you want your other quarterbacks to play? So let's go over the numbers real quick. I'm going to talk about some other guys across the country in a second, but I do want to focus on Stetson and Brock first. Stetson Bennett so far this season, 65 for 88, 74%, excellent, 952 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers, quarterback rating of 183. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns, and he's leading a Georgia offense that is absolutely clicking right now. 49 points against Oregon, could have been more. 48 against South Carolina, could have been more. 33 against Samford, I believe. Obviously could have been more if they wanted to. So he's leading this team to touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And again, he's taking care of the football, and I don't know when he's going to throw his first interception. It's not going to be against Kent State. It should not be against Missouri, Vanderbilt, Auburn. Stetson Bennett should not be turning the ball over against those guys. Florida has some talent on defense, but I know he's ready to play a great game against the Gators. Last year in Jacksonville, not one of his best games at all. I think he's ready to show what he can do. Georgia should blow out Florida. So Stetson Bennett's numbers are only going to get better when he gets A.D. Mitchell back, when he gets Arian Smith back. The numbers are going to be there. Georgia's record is going to be there. And he's got Brock Bowers to throw to, who had an absolutely monster game against South Carolina. So far this year, he has 10 catches for 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a 5-yard touchdown run. Didn't see him a ton against Oregon. Didn't see him a ton against Samford. So his numbers might not be there. And it's almost impossible, right, for a tight end to win the Heisman Trophy. But he's more than that. He's a guy that they hand the ball off to. He's a guy who they flex out wide at receiver. He's an excellent blocker on the perimeter. He does everything right. He's the hardest working guy on the team. I've been told that from multiple people. The speed is there. The ball skills are there. The natural instincts. The guy is just a football player. And when he has the ball, good things happen. Will Anderson's a phenomenal player. Bryce Young is very good. Caleb Williams, I'm going to talk about in a second, he's really good. Brock Bowers, in my opinion, is the best player in college football right now. And if you watched him against South Carolina, it's hard to say there's someone else better. I mean, You shouldn't have guys his size. He's listed at 6'4". He's not 6'4". I think he's 6'3" on his tallest day, but it doesn't matter. The guy runs like he's 170 pounds. Looks like a 4'4" guy running out there, just flying by defenders. The ball skills, he's able to just Randy Moss guys. He can take a slant the distance. He's great in the screen game. And again, jet sweep, end arounds, just get this guy the football and good things happen. There's a reason they went to him on the final drive against Alabama. There's a reason they went to him in the opening drive against Michigan. When he has the ball, good things happen, and there's not a defense out there who's been able to stop him so far. Just a sophomore, but the numbers won't be there. The guy is unbelievable and the best pass-catching tight end we've seen in college football in how long? Kyle Pitts was really good. The Falcons obviously don't think so. They're barely throwing him the ball. Picked him at number 4 instead of trading back for Michael Parsons, whatever. I'm not going to get into the Falcons nonsense. They're a bunch of losers. The Bulldogs are not losers. They're the best team in college football by a mile, and it's led by Stetson Bennett and Brock Bowers, two guys who are easily two of the best players in college football and two guys who should start to get some Heisman talk as the season progresses. But who could be in their way, right? Stroud is having a very good year as well, 62 out of 85. Very close numbers to Stetson Bennett there. Stetson's thrown at 74%. Stroud 73%. He's got more, just a little less yards. He's got 941 compared to Stetson's 952. Stroud has 11 touchdowns to no interception, so he's throwing more touchdown passes. 208 quarterback ranking. I think that's the best in college football. So Stroud is going to be there as well if they keep torching defenses at Ohio State. Very quarterback-friendly place. So if you're the quarterback at Ohio State, you should always have great numbers. Because you're probably a former 5-star in a very quarterback-friendly system with receivers everywhere, with running backs, with 5-star linemen blocking for you. So C.J. Stroud having a great year. I expect him to be in New York. Bryce Young, last year's winner. Numbers aren't quite as there compared to Stetson Bennett and C.J. Stroud. He's at 58 for 85, 68%. Still respectable for sure. 644 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 162 quarterback rating. He also had, I guess if you want to call it Heisman, week 1 moment where he spun out of a sack against Texas that would have given the Longhorns the win, I think, rushes for a first down. So he's made some big-time plays as well, but he's not the front runner for the Heisman right now, 3 weeks in, I'll say that. Caleb Williams out in Southern Cal. Also, I do think it's going to be a quarterback who wins the award. There's not a running back just torching everyone. At receiver, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. if he just absolutely takes over and has multiple Heisman-like moments down the stretch. But Caleb Williams, 64 for 86, 74%, 874 yards, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, 190 quarterback rating. For him to win it, he's going to have to just dominate throughout the season, lead USC to an undefeated season. You have to be on a team that's competing for a championship, I think, as well. So Caleb Williams has a little ways to go, but he's extremely talented. We saw what he did against Oklahoma. Incredible arm strength. He can run, just a true playmaker, can do a lot of different things that make you shake your head. So he is an incredibly talented quarterback who's going to have continue to have a great season. And I think if he does and he leads Southern Cal to an undefeated regular season or even one loss, I think he could be in New York as well. Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington's having a really good year throwing the football. And again, Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver at Ohio State. I think those are two sleeper guys. But at the end of the day, Stetson Bennett is turned into one of the best players in college football. He's proven it right now. He's clicking. He's got the arm talent. He's mobile. Again, 3 rushing touchdowns. I expect him to continue running the football around the goal line. He's good at it. And when teams are focused on Kendall Milton, Kenny McIntosh back there, guys who, could do a little better running the football, but when you're down on the goal line, everyone's focused on those two, and Stetson Bennett has no problem, sneaking out for a 1-yard touchdown run or even scrambling, for a 15-yard touchdown run when things break down. So he's excellent. The Heisman talk around Stetson should start to improve. And again, I think Brock Bowers is probably the best single player in college football. That should account for something. And if he has a couple more 3-touchdown performances, goes off against the Gators, has a big game against Tennessee and Kentucky, where I think the SEC East is going to be on the line. Big game, the SEC title game. Again, it's just week 3, right? So a lot could happen. But tell me what, Stetson Bennett, Brock Bowers should be at least considered right now after week 3 as guys who should, be up there in the Heisman race. But Brock Bowers won't get the consideration due to the low numbers right now, but Stetson Bennett should be there, and he's right there with CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and as far as numbers go, and he's the leader quarterback of the number 1 team clearly in the country. And if they go undefeated the regular season, win an SEC championship, and his numbers are there, and he's barely turning the ball over, why not, right? Why not? I could see Stetson Bennett winning the 2022 Heisman Trophy. Am I crazy? I don't think so. Leave a comment in the comment section below. We love looking at those. Fun year so far for the Dogs. They're 3-0. Thanks for watching all these videos. We enjoy doing them, and we expect to have a lot more content obviously coming this year. Thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I will see you over on DAWGSTRUCTION.